And we're back for another episode of the Star Wars movie review series. So it's been a month since I reviewed Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, so let's review the sequel. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. A good follow-up to A New Hope. We got a shocker, a good cliffhanger to set up Return of the Jedi, that'll be next time. In my, the last episode when I reviewed Star Wars Episode 4, The New Hope, this series, the Star Wars movie review series, it's not like last year I reviewed the MCU movies from all three phases. I think this series is going to be shorter than the MCU movie review series. The MCU movie review series lasts about 7 months. It started in January when I reviewed Iron Man, and it ended when I reviewed Far From Home, the Spider-Man movie. Yeah, this movie review series, on the Star Wars side, it started, with A New Hope. It's gonna end reviewing Solo. I think Solo is the latest movie. Don't think they're gonna do more Star Wars movies anytime soon. So I think that'll probably take me about, my knowledge, about 5 months. Probably 5 months. I hope it's gonna be shorter. By the way, it took me 7 months. Half the whole bulk of the year of 2021. This will probably take me about probably the first quarter of 2022. Starting in January, that'll probably take me until April or May. I think it's likely May, so 5 months by the way. So, because I'm reviewing all, sorry, I'm getting my words out. Trying to review the old movies, then move on to the prequels, then the sequels, and then the spin-off movies, to end it. So, and also ranking these movies to best to worst, and also do the similar to when I, talking about the three phases of the MCU, ranking these MCU movies from these phases to best of best to worst. I'm doing the same thing with the original, the original movies, the sequels, and the prequels. So, not the spin-off movies, but just the trilogy. Between New Hope to Rise of Skywalker. So. Anyway, so let's get back to me reviewing Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. So, this movie was released in 1980, 3 years after the first movie. I've done my research that the money coming in to produce this movie and financing this movie was really also part of George Lucas. I think he franchised the movie for himself. I think he's kind of slowly building the foundation of Lucas Studio. Right now, in our current timeline, Star Wars is owned by Disney. So, I think he was putting money. I think he got a lot of money, gained a lot of money after the success of the first movie, and trying to put that movie for the sequel. I think he got these loans as well. I don't want to get into depth about it. So this is not about me behind the scenes of how these movies made. I'm just talking about the movie itself. So, and also there was one draft. One person who's doing this draft. That person's name is she's called Leah Brackett. She was doing I think it was the first draft of this movie, but sadly, she died of cancer. I don't know what her version of this movie is going to be. I heard there's legends that George Lucas made this or wrote the draft by himself. So it's just what it is. So it's one or the other. I don't know what her version of this movie is going to be. So I don't know. So yeah. I don't know how much. I think they did well in the box office. Not on the same level as The New Hope. The New Hope is something new, but sometimes with sequels, they turn out to be a hit or a miss. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. It's a hit. There's reports that the reviews of this movie was a mixed bag. Mixed reviews, but I think this movie was kind of leaning towards positives. There was some bad, but mostly on the good side. So, that's why this movie, it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. Growing up, as a kid watching it, like 20 plus years ago. I think it was around the 2000 mark. I think it was 2000. I think it was big 2001. I think it was like 2003. I watched it. I mean, I watched bits and pieces, but I think it was around the early 2000s. By the way, almost 20 years ago. But I watched it like years later. It's still one of my favorite Star Wars movies of all time. You know, like I said, we'll get to the ranking all the movies, the best and worst, in the future installments. So let's talk about the cast. Same formula when I did, you know, when I reviewed the MCU movies. You got the original cast back for the sequel. You know, Mark Hamill, you know, reprised his role as Luke Skywalker. Harrison Ford. This is a part that Harrison Ford's career is gonna boom, because the following year he did the first Indiana Jones movie. I think that's is it Tomb Raider? I think that was the first movie. I haven't really saw. I heard about Indiana Jones, but never seen all the movies. The only movie I saw in the Indiana Jones franchise is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was fucking shit. But, you know, I don't know if Disney got the Indiana Jones films, but I might review it down the road. But you can tell like his career's starting to boom with with Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and I think he did Blade Runner. Anyway, so he reprised his role as Han Solo. The late Carrie Fisher reprised her role as Princess Leia. The late Peter Mayhew reprised his role as Chewbacca. Anthony Daniels reprised his role as 3CPO. You get my drift. The late Kenny Baker reprised his role as R2D2. Did I say Anthony Daniels? Yeah, I kind of forgot. Yeah, Anthony Daniels reprised his role as 3CPO. Yeah, I'll get to more of him later on in this review. So, Alec Guinness. Alec Guinness reprised his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi as a spirit, because his character got killed off in the last movie. The late David Prowse. David Prowse, sorry. You know, the Americans call him Prowse, but we call it Prowse. The late David Prowse reprised his role as Darth Vader. I know it's James Earl Jones voicing Darth Vader. And also you got some new characters. New characters for this movie. You had Frank Oz, like voicing, you know, Yoda in this. I think in the old movies he was a puppet, and by the time in the prequels, you know, 15 to 20 years later, he's CGI. He voices Yoda. That Yoda character in the old movie sounds similar to Fozzie Bear. I think he was working. I think he had a part in the not a part, but kind of like was part. He was in the Muppets. I think this is my knowledge. Not familiar with Frank Oz. You know, I know he's Yoda, but never knew he was part of the Muppets. I heard there was rumors that Jim Henson was offered the role as, you know, Yoda. You know, he's successor of the Muppets. You know, I think he voices like Kermit the Frog, but he kind of like backed down. You had Jeremy Bullock, I think that's his name, playing Boba Fett. The voice of Boba Fett is voiced by Jason Wingreen, and then in the I think it was the 97, or I think it was the 2004 re-edition of this movie. I think his character was played by Jango Fett. The actor who played Jango Fett in the prequels, and he's now doing the stuff with the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. You know, Temuera Morrison, that's the guy who plays Boba Fett in the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett show on the Disney Plus app. You had Clay Revel, I think that's his name, Clay Revel, voicing the Emperor, you know, aka Emperor Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious, and Elaine Baker Elaine Baker plays the Emperor, in this movie. Clay Revel voices it, and I heard rumors like they did. I saw this movie on the Disney Plus app. The Emperor is now the Imac Madruint Emperor. I never knew this. Has been this is like decades. You know, it's been a long time since I since I watched Star Wars Episode 5. You know, I thought the Emperor appeared in this movie and Return of the Jedi, but Ian Madrid appeared in the Empire, yeah, the Return of the Jedi, but yeah, he came back in the prequels and then the sequel. We get to Rise of the Skywalker in the future, but yeah, it's a digital effect. You know, people just don't really don't like. You know, they re-edited the movies. You know, I don't want to talk about it. It's not my goal to talk about the the re-editions of the Star Wars from the 1997 versions and the 2004 ones. It's not my purpose to do it. It's just like what it is. I think I said it in my last review. I think it was a bit of a mixed bag. Some of it looks good, and some of it looks bad. So, seeing like having Ian Madrim's Emperor was the right thing, because the original version of it, that looked very crap. It looks like he's a fucking chimp. But I'm glad they had Ian Madrim's Emperor in this edition. You know, it's the right call. You know, I thought it was Ian Madrid. You know, in this movie, but instead he appeared in the sequel. You know, Return of the Jedi. So, some of these names I'm gonna fucking butcher. You know, like you had what's his name? Kenneth Colley. He plays Admiral Piat. You had Julian Glover. I think that's his name. He plays what's his name? He plays Admiral Veers. He kind of like he kind of like he leaded the soldiers to the Battle of Hoth. Michael Sheard plays Ozzel. He got killed off by Darth Vader, with a choke force. What's his name? I'm not gonna attempt to remember the guy's name. He plays Nida. He also got killed by Vader. I don't know who played him. Some of these actors, I think, some of these actresses, they're before my time. I've done my research on Michael Sheeran's, the guy who plays Ozzel in this movie. That he appeared at Grange Hill, the old Grange Hill in the 80s, not the he plays like a teacher in the Grange Hill show, and he got a bit part of Star Wars, and then he got killed off. I'm not gonna mention the other guy who plays Nida. I might talk about it when I review Return of the Jedi. I also forgot I think they're trying. I think like Priat. I think he's trying to fill the role as fill in the boots of fill in like Tarkin's boots. I forgot to mention that Tarkin got killed off in The New Hope after Luke blew up the Death Star. So, and also you got Billy D. Williams. I forgot about him. Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. I don't know. He's a ruler of this planet called Bispin, Cloud City. We'll get more of it. Talk about him later on in this review. So, anyway, it's all about like the Empire, the Emperor. Yeah, it's confusing to say Empire. The Empire want revenge on Luke because Luke is the one who blew up the Death Star. So, Emperor. I'm gonna call him Darth Sidious. I know he's the Emperor, but I'm gonna call him Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious and Vader. Because the Emperor wants Darth Vader to make Luke to turn on the rebels and join the dark side. And it's funny. It's really good. And also in this movie, they kind of, for the first time, name drop Anakin Skywalker. You can tell like they heard the original idea. The first three movies were supposed to be 1 to 3, but they kind of changed to 4 to 6. Because in the next couple of decades, they did the prequels. The prequels all about how Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. So anyway, so to see is to see that Anakin Skywalker name drop, that was cool. And then because they didn't mention it in the New Hope, they mentioned like Luke's father, blah blah blah. But we'll get to the shot. We'll get to that shot reveal in the end of this review. So, and also you had a chemistry between the late Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford. Han and Leia. I'll get to more of that a little bit shortly. So, yeah. That was more, and also the stories that the hyperspeed drive in the Millennium Falcon is not working. And also, it's very weird. They never. I don't think they ever explain how the hyperspeed wasn't working properly. I don't know. Yeah, R2D2 managed to fix it in the end, so whatever. So anyway, so the start of this movie had Luke, riding. They're in they're in half the cold planet. He's fighting this meteorite or something like that. He's riding on a tauntaun, and then suddenly he got attacked by a wampa. A wampa is like this. I'm guessing. I understand it's based on the abominable snowman. So he got captured, and also the the wampa basically the look of the wampa, it looks cool. I heard like other people's reviews of it. Some people say they don't like the wampa. It looks cartoonish. It didn't age well, but for me, I don't mind it. So the wampa gonna basically kill the tauntaun, took Luke into his cave. Luke is captured. He's on top of the ceiling. His legs is basically trapped with some block of ice, and then Luke basically used the force to grab his lightsaber, got him free, cut like the wampa's arm, and left. And then he basically was in a snowstorm, and he's suffering a little bit of a hypothermia. Saw the ghost of Ben. I know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I don't know why they call him Ben instead of Obi-Wan. They're not mentioning. He never was Ben. He wasn't called Ben in the prequels. Another story for another time. So Ben said to Luke that you need to go to the Dagobah system to see Yoda, to basically train with Yoda. Because at this moment in time in the last movie, in this movie, he's not quite a fully trained Jedi. By time in Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, that he's a full trained Jedi. He got saved by Han. Han also rode on his tauntaun. The tauntaun dies, and then he cut the tauntaun open with Luke's lightsaber, and the insides of the tauntaun, they stay there until morning, because otherwise Han will probably they both die of hypothermia, freeze to death. But he didn't. So anyway, Luke going to the Dagobah system to see Yoda. Yoda was played by Frank Oz. Technically voiced by Frank Oz. The Dagobah system. It's kind of like this swamp type of planet. Yoda was playing tricks with Luke. Luke says, it's a strange place for a Jedi Knight. Something familiar about this place, I don't know, and I feel like, and Yoda says, feel like what? I'm not doing the voice of Yoda, man. I don't know, I can't really do the voice, by the way, but Yoda says, feel like what? And then Luke says, like we're being watched. And Yoda says, away with your weapons, I don't mean no harm. Why are you here? I'm looking for someone. Stop looking. Found someone. I say, yeah. I can help you, yes. I'm looking for, Luke says, I'm looking for a great warrior. Great warrior. And also, he was looking through Luke's stuff, like, I think he ate Luke's food. He's like, hey, put it down, it's my dinner. And he grabs, like, a torch, and then Luke says, and like Yoda says, I'm gonna help you find your friend. I'm not looking for a friend. I'm looking for a Jedi Knight. No, Jedi Master, sorry. Yoda, you seek Yoda. You can tell like Yoda was kind of playing tricks with Luke, and Luke was kind of like impatient with Yoda. They're in his hut. It was raining. We need to go now. We need to eat, and when Yoda says to Luke, why you want to become a Jedi Knight? Luke says, because of my father. Yeah, and Yoda says, he says, your father's a great Jedi. And Luke says, how do you know my father? You don't even know my father. You don't know who I am. And said, oh, this is stupid. I'm wasting my time while I'm doing here. And then he sit here, you tell like, you had this conversation between Yoda and basically Yoda and Ben. Luke sees hears Ben because he's a spirit. Said about like, oh, he's impatient. He has too much anger. If I was different when you taught, if I yeah, he said. I think Ben says I was different when you taught me. Yeah, Yoda says he's reckless, and Ben says so I was I. He was too old. I don't know how was Mark Hamill at this moment in time. He was around probably. I think he's in now 60s, in his late 60s or 70s. I think back then he was probably in his 20s and 30s. I think the Luke character is supposed to be in late teens, early 20s. I don't know, but and then I think Yoda says, I'll train it. Yeah, he didn't really say that. I'm gonna refer it. I'm gonna refer what he's saying, otherwise it'll fucking drives me nuts with the dialogues. Sometimes I don't remember dialogues. Some I know, others don't know. He said like, you will finish when you began. So basically say I'm gonna train you when you begin. Because basically say when he says when you begin, because Ben was training Luke and then Yoda's gonna finish the training. You can tell like I feel like Luke was wearing like a vest and he's a bit buffed a bit in this movie. He's not like jacked. Mark Hamill's never had a great physique. He's not known for his physique. He's not meant to lift weights for the role. He looks like he's got an athletics background. He looks like he had a not background but an athletic presence. Like in this movie, he was doing handstands. Levitating rocks. You can tell he trained for this movie because like in the first movie he was a bit skinnier. He's not known for like building up his physique. Adam Driver in The Last Jedi, he was built like shit brick house in that movie. That's another story for another time. So the ship. I'll get to more of Luke and Han and Leia a little bit later on. I'm just more focused on talking about the Dagobah system part. So you had the ship going down, and I think like Yoda says, you hear nothing I say. Always with you, you cannot. I think he said to Luke. He said to Luke. Luke says, it's living the rocks. One thing, I can't live a ship, and Yoda says no. Not trained. I think he said like you must unlearn when you learn. So when Luke tried to do it, he thought he'd lift the ship, but instead he couldn't do it. He says it's too big. No, I think Yoda says no matter the size, do you judge me by my size? And he was talking about the Force, about it's what is it? It's around us. It's what it bind us. Life, blah blah blah. It grows. You must feel the Force. Around the trees and around the island, the land, blah blah blah. And he didn't say blah blah blah, but I'm trying to get to the point. Some of the parts was a bit rambling, but Yoda did it. I think Luke says this the impossible something. What was it called? The impossible he called. But Yoda did it. Got the ship into the ground, and also Luke kind of like see the presence of Han and Leia getting captured. It's a bit a red herring to me because that was before they traveled to Bespin to meet Lando. Lando Calrissian is basically the original owner of the Millennium Falcon. But Luke says I need to go there. And I think Luke, I'm gonna refer him what Yoda's saying, otherwise it drives me nuts. So Yoda says if you go there, you end up destroying all what they fought and suffered. If you choose. And then I think like Ben says, if you pick the quicker and easiest way, like Vader, you'll become the agent of evil. So basically, he's saying like you're gonna wind up like Vader. We'll get to the prequels later on. I'm not gonna get in more depth about it. So he ended up going and also he goes to Dagobah with R2-D2. I was not a person; it's a drone, and Kenneth Baker plays that character down well. The fucking noise in the background. I think the R2-D2 was into the water. you know, and then some creature, I think it's going after him, and then it's just like blast up, you know. I'm not doing. Yeah, I don't, people thought that screens. That was funny, but anyway, so yeah, so I like the chemistry in this movie with Leia and Han. You know, they kind of continue what they picked off from the first movie. Yeah, yeah, the second bits of the first movie and continue in this movie. You can tell like Leia and Han, the the way basically they gave each other shit in this movie, but you can tell and slowly they had moments that kiss each other, like 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 they're in this cave, but in reality they're not in this cave. After they went through the basically the astro field and went to this small cave, but they're in this creature called the Exogoth or Exogoth. I think that's I looked it up. The name of the one creature of this movie. Um, you know, Leia's you doing repairs of the I'm trying to get my words out. The Millennium Falcon, and you know Han says, you know, keeps calling like Leia your worship and your highness, and Leia says don't call me that. And I think Han says, you know, you find me, you sometimes you find me okay or sometimes, yeah. I think Leia says, you know, occasionally, sometimes if you don't act like a scoundrel. I like that, you know. There's not a lot of scoundrels like me in this around this universe. I think he said like you're trembling, and I'm not trembling, you know. And I think Leia says, "I'm happy to, happy to like a nice man," and Han says, I am a nice man." You know, you like basically like you like scoundrel, you like me, and going back, and also he was a bit a dick in this up. He was a bit of a dick in the beginning parts. They're in the base in half. Throughout the half, you had you know, fighting. You got the I think you had the stormtroopers riding on these. I can't remember what they're called. They're basically camel. I call them camel walkers. They look like giant camels. Anyway, so that was in the Battle of Hoth. So yeah. You had Han said to Leia, so this is it, your Highness, and Leia says, all right, you know. I think Han says, don't get all mushy with me, and then bye, and it's just like being a dick. And then I think he said like, you know, you're following me because you feel about me. So I'm guessing like what Han's saying that Leia has feelings with him, and it's kind of like the case. So yeah, they end up kissing, and then I think like free CPO kind of ruined the moment. I kind of like that. I'll talk about more of free CPO shortly. So he said, I think he said about like we isolate the power cupping, and and Han says thank you very much, and free CPO ended well thank you sir. Let's talk about free CPO, man. I like that character, man. You know, Anthony Daniels, for me personally, he made that character damn well. In my opinion, he made that character work. Like he's like this, you know, he does this, you know, he's a calorie resistant droid, but he has like these funny one-liners, like you know you know they're in the Exogoth. I think that's not Goth, Gorf. I think Exogorth. You know, it's got the R after the O, not Goth. Like you know, Goth's wearing black. You know, black hair, black boots, black trousers, black leather jacket, something like that. Blah blah blah. So yeah, yeah, they're searching around. There were like these wings creatures called Minox. Yep. So yeah, 3CPO's line afterwards, you know, he said like I'm gonna stay there, guard the ship. You know, he's fucking, you're scared, and yeah, he's fucking scared. And also they're in the base in Bespin in Clown City that R2D2 is about to trying to open the door and say, yeah, forget about the hyperdrive in the Millennium Falcon. It's fixed. You know, open the door. You know, I think you call him a lump or something. Like, can't you just open the door and then the door's open? I never doubt you a second. I kind of like that, man. You know, I like Anthony Daniels. He's a guy who I think he was on there before Star Wars, but he made that character work in my opinion in this movie. So he just made it. You know, he could he's cowardly, but he always you know, he's there for comic relief, what it is. So anyway, so yeah, back to Han and Leia. You know, they gave each other shit. You know, they're starting this creature. The ship is rumbling. You know, like it's shaking, and you had Leia falling down Han, and I think Leia said to Han, please let go. And Han says, do not get excited. You know, falling on you is not enough to get me excited. And Han just says, this haven't got the time to do something else. He got that smile. You know, you can tell like Leia's not putting up a Han bullshit. I kind of like that. I like the chemistry. You know, they're not like annoying, but they're just kind of like, hey, you know, they just kind of worked. You know, they're like, you know, they give each other shit. You know, I think they're in this you know, we'll get more to the shock. I'll tell you a little bit, but I'll save more of it. You know, we get to the 2 spoilers of this movie. Yeah, you had I think you had this Han says to Leia, they're in the hospital wing or hospital area room after like they rescued Luke from the storm after he got tapped by the Wampa. That I think it's like Han says, you know, you can't barely to let this gorgeous man like me out of sight, you know, and Leia says, you know, I don't know I don't know how you got your delusions. He called him a laser brain, and people say, oh, this is not, you know, people complain about Star Wars. It's not like a kids movie, you know. I don't, yeah, they're not. So I heard like people complain about Star Wars, you know, they'll like it. I don't really see it as a kids movie. I don't really see Star Wars like a kids movie. Yeah, they got like arm cut, like body parts getting getting cut off. I'm trying to gonna say, so I'm stumbling, and that's why I'm choking on my coke when I'm talking. Decapitated. You know, basically getting the body parts getting chopped off by lightsabers. But I think it's more appeal to kids and family, adults. You know, like basically hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, I'm not saying it's PG, by the way. So yeah, I'm gonna say what Leia's line again. I have to say, oh yeah, we share. She shared her feelings about me, and then Leia says, I don't know when you got your delusions, laser brain. Hey, Leia, Chewie with the laughs. You know, he doesn't do that. He does that, you know, do the growls, and you know, yeah. Han says, laughed it up, fuzzball. We're not gonna get a dark Star Wars, whether it's a TV show or movie, anytime soon with the swearing and the blood. It's not really their nature. It's just what it is. I don't know why they never win like a 15 or an 18. I don't think we're gonna get that anytime soon. So, and anyway, so there's barely like battleship battles in this movie. Like in the first movie, there's a lot of battleship fights. Like in the in the final battle scene, you know, like the rebel 8 soldiers, you know, trying to stop trying to blow up the Death Star, and you know, like you have Millennium Falcon fighting the TIE fighters. There were a lot of like battleship fights. In this movie, you got a lot of lightsaber fights. They're kind of like roles reverse of like New Hope. We got ship battles and only 1 lightsaber fight. In this movie, we got only 2. You know, we get to back into the Dagobah system. Luke goes into this cave for like saw Vader. This is a slow motion battle, and Luke like chopped Vader's head off, and then his head, like the front part of the helmet blow off, and you saw Luke's head on it. I never got it over the years, and then I think like I'm guessing it's letting the fans guessing. I think my guess, it represents his fear. I think Luke's fear is basically joining the dark side like Vader, you know, taking up the mantle. I don't want to get more in details about it. I think Luke. I don't know. He'd probably be good. I think one of these days, I think Star Wars could do a what if. Marvel did a what if. Hope Star Wars do a what if. I think like what if Luke turn his is the basically the like he's basically dubbed as the last hope. So he's the hope. He's the savior to help to represent the good side of the force to battle the dark side of the force. You did what if he turns on the dark side like his dad, and take up the mantle. That'd be a shocker. But that was the one like lightsaber fight. I don't count him. I don't really count like Luke cutting off the Wampa's arm as a lightsaber fight. I like the fight between Darth Vader and Luke they're in the base in Bespin. That was good. The two best lightsaber fights for me, in my knowledge, the light battle scenes from I don't know about the sequels. I'll get to that in the future. But for me, the best two for me has to be Luke versus Darth Vader from Empire Strikes Back. Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith. I like that. The fight. I like the fights. Really good. You can tell like Vader. His goal is not to kill Luke. He's basically turning to the dark side, and I think he's trying to put him in carbonite. And I'll get more to that Darth Vader part. More of the fight shortly. So yeah, the carbonite scene. Actually, on second, I'm going to talk about a little bit later the carbonite scene. Han. I'll get to that shortly. The lightsaber fight was good. I'll save it to the end. Not at the end, but later on, the true shocker. But I think it was really good. They were fighting, and they were fight. I think they were like in the fight. The reveal. I think they were in some kind of control room. I think it was really good. I feel like you can tell like Vader's more experienced. Luke is not quite there yet. It was really good. They'll find one room to another. Let's talk about the carbonite scene. Han in carbonite. Basically he hadn't paid. I think he got the money. He wants to pay off the debt of Jabba the Hutt. If he's not paid, you end up getting. I think he's end up like Jabba put basically you say that I'm a dead man. So basically Jabba put like a price on his head, and basically they're in Han, Leia, 3CPO, Chewie, they're in Bespin, the Cloud City, Lando Calrissian, and then he set the whole thing up. You had Vader. It was basically a ruse. It's basically, hey, we're gonna have some drinks, and so Vader's in the dining room, and then Han's shooting lasers at Vader. Vader's blocked it and took his gun, and then basically Lando Calrissian's he got screwed by the Empire. I think he said like Vader altered a deal instead of having Leia and 3CPO. He got destroyed by something. He went to this room, saw like a different resistant bots like him. That resistant bot is like silver. He went to this room and got blown up. And then he had the Chewie fix him back together. Like I think at one part he kind of didn't build him properly. He was on backwards, and then it was like I think 3CPO says, "Oh my, I can't see." And then the whole time he was on the back of Chewie. Peter Mayhew, like I said, like Anthony Daniels, he made that character damn well. Chewie's kind of like, you can tell he's a creature with heart and soul. He's kind of like a bit sad of seeing 3CPO broken. Yeah, he saw 3CPO about to get like melted down for whatever. But I'm trying to say, what am I trying to say? Shit. Instead, I think Lando's deal that basically, Leia and Chewie stay on the ship, but he got screwed. He got screwed. Lando. He said like he altered the deal. They end up going to the ship. Vader's ship. I'm guessing they might be prisoners or being executed. We don't know, but yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, let's say I'm gonna save you, and his like soldiers took all the guns, and it's just like I feel it's I feel like it's a forced heel turn. Some people compare him to Han. Their what motive is money, and in the end of this movie, he's wearing Han's clothes. I like Billy D. Williams. He was a fine character, but I think this stuff like, yeah, I'm a baddie. I'm the baddie helping the Empire, taking money. I think it's like it wasn't my choice. But and then all of a sudden when Vader screwed him, I'm helping you guys, and I don't know. It's kind of like really a forced face turn. I'm gonna call it, but yeah. Let's get to the Han in basically Han in Carbonites. You guys you want it. Basically you'll be in Carbonite, and then he went to Jabba's palace. One nitpick about this, Carrie Fisher, man, wow, I'm not gonna speak ill of the death, but I wish she'd be more sadder, because like in Family Guy the parody, and also like I like the chemistry, like I said, they give each other shit, and I feel like Leia called Han a scruffy looking nerf herder, and they repeat that lines in the Family Guy parody of this movie. Peter punched Lois in the face, but that is keeping to speaking of the parody, the Family Guy parody of Star Wars Episode 5. Lois portraying the role as Leia, Peter's portraying the role as Han Solo. You had Leia, Lois like cried, and in this movie we never see a single tear in Leia's eye. And I've done my research that the original line, like Leia says, "I love you," and Han says, "I know." I think it's like the original line. It says, Leia says, "I love you," and Han says, "I love you too," because you can tell they're building like the shit. They had feelings to each other. Yeah, they give each other shit. They kind of did insults, but they like each other. They care about each other. But Leia not seeing basically a single tear. This is supposed to be the saddest scene in this film. To have not Leia be more sadder and crying. I think there's a reason why Carrie Fisher never got never got big roles in Hollywood. Like Harrison Ford, succeed in Hollywood, but with Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher did not. I wish if I was like way back in 1980, I think it was the director or the producer is George Lucas, but the director of this movie is Ivan Krishna. If I was Krishna, just cry on camera. Leia's supposed to be upset, because this is her love, her life. You're not gonna see again. It's just like to see like you tell Chewie's trying to beam down, trying to beat down the stormtroopers. Boba Fett trying to shoot Chewbacca. Vader took his gun, and Han says, "Hey, listen to me. Look after the princess." And seeing that is the saddest moment. I think I don't know. This is before my time. This is in 1980. I was born in 94, but I bet a lot of people will probably cry about the scene. Seeing a slight tear in Han's eye. His eyes starting to watery. He's starting to be emotional, but it's just sad because Han, you can tell the character development of Han Solo change, in the in the first movie, in The New Hope, he doesn't really give a shit about other people. He doesn't give a shit about the war against the Empire. He cares about money. That's his motive. And then his character development change. In the end of this movie, when he helped Luke, he's staring death in the face with Vader and his soldiers trying to shoot him down, stopping Luke blow up the Death Star. You had, Han helping Luke, and then in this movie you can tell the relationship with Leia, he's more focused on helping, he's cared about helping the people stuck in the Empire. So it's a good character change, to the New Hope to the Empire Strikes Back. Seeing that, a slight tear of Han, that was a bit sad, but Leia, I wish just have a single tear. I didn't see no tear in Leia's eyes. Carrie Fisher's eyes. Sorry, I'm trying to say something. Carrie Fisher's eyes. There's no single tear in her face. It's probably the saddest moment of the film. Come on now. But I heard the original rumors that Han Solo is about to get going. I think there was plans to try to kill him off in this movie, but no, he's back in the sequel. Return of the Jedi. But it's funny that things change. 35 years later, he's gonna get killed off in Force Awakening. I'll get to that movie down the road. But yeah. I think I covered most of it. Yeah, I think I covered most of it. So, and let's do two spoilers in this movie. In this movie, this is after Luke fly off of the Dagobah system to go to Bespin to save Han and Leia and Chewie. You had, I think it was, Ben says Luke is the last hope. And I think Yoda says, no, there's another. And then when Luke trying to conjure up Ben, he's a bit of a dumbass. This was after the fight with Vader, fall off into the tubes, fall out. He kind of landed onto like the satellite portion of the low portion of the base. And then when he's conjured up Leia hears Luke. He said, turn the ship around. I know Luke is. It's a damn shame. I think they missed a great opportunity to have basically Leia taking up the mantle of Luke. I think it was like, I feel like Leia could be a good Jedi if she wanted to. She's not like we're going to make this character as a damsel in distress. No. Like, she's a strong, independent woman, like in the New Hope, when Luke and Han try to save him, escape from the Death Star, Leia grabbed Han's gun and shooting the stormtroopers. I can see her holding the lightsaber. She can really do well, but yeah, it's one of my theories that she got the power, the force mind. I feel like in the I think it was Rise of Skywalker she kind of glided, but I think it was I think it's kind of like a wasted opportunity. They might do. I don't think there were. Carrie Fisher's dead, but like, I think the character Leia if they're doing another Star Wars TV show or movie, you have Leia in a canon version of the universe taking up the mantle, holding the lightsaber, becoming a Jedi Knight herself. Sorry, I'm stumbling, but yeah, they wasted an opportunity with that. So, and I think it makes sense. In the scene, like in the hospital scene in the beginning parts of the movie, you had Leia kissing Luke. He said to Han, "You don't know nothing about women yet," and then kissing Han twice. You can tell Luke is not really focused on a love interested storyline. He's just focused on being the main hero. I gladly push the love interest storyline between her and Leia and Han. It's more better than that. They end up having a child called Ben. That's Kylo Ren. That's another story for another time. So anyway, the biggest shocker is like during the fight between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Like they had this fight, and Vader chopped the hand of Luke. I like that. It was not multiple scenes. Chopped his hand off. I don't. To this day, I never. Some people. Like I said earlier, people say. Some people say Star Wars never was a kids show. I think it's more meant for kids and adults. Why they're selling merchandise? Why they're producing toys? Come on now, and video games over the years. Anyway, so Vader says, don't make me destroy you. I will completely training. So with our strengths, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy. And Obi-Wan never told you about your father. And Luke says, he told me enough. You killed my father. And Vader says, no, I am your father. And Luke says, no, that's, no, it cannot be. That's impossible. He did that no, that reaction. I didn't like, like he did that reaction when Vader kills Ben. Ben like is Luke sees Ben like a not a father. No, I don't really call it a father figure. Maybe father figure. I don't know. Maybe. Uncle Owen. I don't know much. There's lack of screen time between Owen and Luke, but yeah, because like Ben is Obi-Wan is teaching Luke to become a Jedi. And, yeah, it's just like that. No, that was really. It's funny, but it's just shocking that it's funny that Simpsons did like a joke. When it's an episode when it's a flashback episode when Homer and basically Marge giving the birth to Bart. They're in the cinema, and then aka the movies. We call it pictures in the UK, or call it cinemas. They leave the cinema, and Homer says he gives up the spoiler. Vader is Luke's son, and it's just pissed a lot of people. But anyway, so it was the biggest shocker. I heard it's a mixed bag. I think it's an underwhelming direction. I don't know. Yeah, Vader says, "Join me. We can rule the galaxy like father and son. You must destroy the Emperor." He foreseen this, but yeah, I think back then maybe it's a sign that maybe Luke might not killed Darth Vader because he's the one who killed his mentor, his friend, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and his men kill his Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag, but I'll get to more of it when I review Return of the Jedi. That'll be not too soon. I'm trying to spread it out more, because when I do the MCU movies, that's on my weekend, every Saturday or Sunday. Sunday was during midday as well, but it's just what it is. Anyway, so that was a good shocker. Like Leia, Leia is turned out to be Luke's. Leia and Luke are brother and sister, and Vader is, Luke's father. That was like shocker. And Ben, I think like Luke said I think he's trying to say to Ben, why you did tell me, I'll get to Revenge of the Sith in the future, but it's just, I don't want to give it right now, give it away right now. It's just kind of like, I think you just want Luke, don't want to know that, I'll explain, I'll explain it when I review Revenge of the Sith, so, anyway, so, yeah, I heard people say the ending was a bit underwhelming. Yeah, the bad guys win. I think it's kind of like an equalizer. The Empire tied it up, because in the first film, the good guys won. You blew up the Death Star. You had the medal ceremony. Ceremony is trying to say ceremony. The ceremony. In I don't know what planet, and then in this movie, the bad guys won. They kidnap Han. They go to Jabba's palace. It's I don't mind. I don't mind the ending. It's just what it is. You had Luke with a new basically a new hand. I think it's the shades of his dad. We'll get to more of that in the near future. In the near future, I'm trying to say. Sorry, I'm stumbling. I need a drink, man. My throat's a bit dry. My throat is a bit dry. I don't really bother about the ending. I don't mind the end. I don't mind the end. I don't bother about the ending. By the way, the ending was fine to me for what it is. It's just what it is. You got a good. You don't have to have the good guys have a good ending. You can have the bad guys win all the time. Great example. Infinity War. Thanos won. So, got all the Infinity Stones. Did the snap in his home planet. Ends the movie, the final scene had Thanos with a smile on his face. That was cool. But this was kind of like, Family Guy did the parody, they did a reference to Back to the Future, but I don't mind it. You got a good shocker, a good cliffhanger, setting up the Return of the Jedi. That will be next time. It's funny that the original movies and the prequels, it's once every 3 years, You know, like originally, the first movie was 77, the second movie was 80, and the final movie was 1983. And then the prequels 99, 2002, and 2005. Yeah, 2005. And the sequels, like the Disney movies, that were once every 2 years. Yeah, like people were bitching and complaining. They don't wait. Yeah, it's way better than waiting like once every 5 years. Look at Suicide Squad. It took 5 years after the first movie. It's just what it is. So, and the Justice League Snyder Cut. It took 4 years after the first movie. So it's just what it is. So I still like this movie, by the way. I still like it. The pacing was fine. It wasn't rushed, but at the same time, it wasn't boring. I wasn't bored. I was intrigued. Still intrigued about the story. This movie, yeah, this movie for me. I think this has lasted about 2 hours 7. 2 hours. So I thought I'd look it up. Like I look it up on the internet. It says what 2 hour 3 minutes, 2 hour 5 minutes. Because the movie I saw for The New Hope was about 2 hour 5 minutes. This is about 2 hours 7 minutes. That's about almost 3 hours. You know, I wasn't bored. I just liked the story. You know, it wasn't. I don't say it's. People find it's. I think like back in 1980 it's a mixed bag, but I think over the years it's more adored. You know, with the like I said, the shark with a shark and a cliffhanger. You know, and a good lightsaber fight. You know, it's just like so like the battle. What's gonna, you know, I knew that the dark side, the Empire's gonna lose, but that's another story for another time. Like back in 1980, it set up very well. Are the good guys gonna win this war, or the bad guys gonna win this war? It's one way or the other. You know, I think back then, it's Luke joining the dark side. That's not the case. Like I said, you know, we'll get to Return of the Jedi next time. So yeah, I think this is a good movie. I think this is a really in the top 5 or really in the top 3 best Star Wars movies of all time. You know, I get to the ranking of these movies in the near future. So I'm gonna end this movie review. So, you know, I think that let's see. Did I miss out something? I think I miss out something. You know, no, I think I covered the most of it. You know, if I miss out something, I might talk about it in the next review, or like when I rank it. Nah, the ranking videos from the 3 eras of the movies of the Star Wars universe. That will be just focused on the movie itself. So anyway, so I hope you enjoy my review of Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Smash the like button. Click the like. Click the bell. You know, updates or when my the new latest videos pop up. Yeah, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, superhero movie, superhero videos. You know, where I review TV shows and movies from the DC and Marvel universe. Haven't talk about a superhero show since I reviewed tie-ins, so we have to wait until the end of March until Moon Knight. So I'm gonna do a video on that topic about the MCU. You know, the latest shows on the Disney Plus app. And I'll do the separate on the movies topic. You know, doing the 2 separate movies. You know, I'll talk about the Disney MCU shows of this year first, and then moving on to the movies coming out for the MCU. So it's just one way or the other, because I also did it on the DC side in November, I think. So anyway, folks, like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And by the way, let the Force be with you. I'm gonna say every like I didn't say it in the New Hope review. I'm gonna say in every reviews of this series, you know, of Star Wars. Let the Force be with you. I'm gonna say it one more time. Let the Force be with you. This is Essential Man officially signing out. Check you later.